Welcome to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton, and welcome to your Sunday night Everton 24/7 daily report. Apologies for no Saturday show, but there was literally next to no news to bring you yesterday night, and I'm a big advocate of quality over quantity. So there you are, and speaking of quality, there was next to none of it in Everton's pre-season game in Switzerland, and we will get onto that later in the show. But today's main transfer story is that Everton have apparently sent scouts to watch a number of players from Hertha Berlin. Those players are rumoured to be Karim Rekic, Marvin Plattenhardt and Davy Selke. Now, Davy Selke may be a player we're interested in given our pursuit of a striker this summer. He's a 6'4" colossus who could be a good focal point for our attack. However, that is a role I think Dominic Calvert-Lewin can do anyway pretty well, and we should be looking for someone who's more of a natural finisher to take his place, if anybody. Selke only scored 4 goals in 32 games last season, which is less than Calvert-Lewin and the same as Cenk Tosun, who got less game time than him. So taking that into account, it's hard to make a case for us to buy him in any capacity. Despite him being name-dropped, Plattenhardt is one I'm going to gloss over, given that he's a left-back. I can't see us having any substance in that rumour because we've already got 2 established left-backs ahead of the new season, and also the expected arrival of Fabian Delph could also see him able to play there as well. There's no need for us to buy another left-back, so I think we'll ignore that as well. However, the most intriguing one of the trio is Karim Rekic. Rekic is a 24-year-old left-sided centre-back who has gained a lot of experience playing in Holland and France and Germany already, and even played a few games for the Holland national team. Rekic did actually start his career in England with Manchester City before moving to Marcel Brands' PSV on a 2-year loan. He's since moved to Marseille and now Hertha Berlin. So no doubt Brands already has a lot of background knowledge on Rekic. He's not 25 until December, so he does fit the age criteria that Brands looks for, and obviously if there is a bit of a link between them, that might ease negotiations as well. In my opinion, Rekic seems to have been the best alternative to Kurt Zouma we've been linked with so far. As a natural left-sided centre-half, I think he could slot in nicely next to Michael Keane or Yerry Mina in that central defensive pairing. It might not be a bad signing either, just given that the Zouma pursuit looks like it's going to drag out, basically. Of course, if Zouma doesn't end up coming, then Rekic may be the next best option, I'd say. And that might be the case anyway, because Kurt Zouma played again for Chelsea yesterday against St. Pat's. He came on for the second half as he did in the first game against Bohemians. So it looks like Zouma's set to spend almost the whole pre-season with Chelsea, whatever happens. So maybe we could do with getting another defender in, just so we're not biting our fingernails, really. On to outgoings, and as far as the deadwood goes, another one bites the dust today, as Shani Tarashai has completed a loan move to FC Emmen of the Eredivisie. The official announcement states that it's a 2-year loan deal. Now, there's a bit of confusion on social media about this, given that the contract he signed when he first arrived in January 2016 should have been running until 2020. So I'm not sure where the extra year on his contracts come from or whether it's a mistake. I'm not 100%, but whatever way you look at it, it appears we've managed to shift another deadweight from the club for good. By the end of 2 seasons' time, there'll be no Shani Tarashai on the books, and that's a good sign that the process of trimming down the squad that Brands is so keen on is starting to come together slowly but surely. So only another 10, 12 to go. And another outgoing could soon be announced, as Everton have apparently accepted a £2 million bid from Wigan Athletic to make Anthony Robinson's loan deal permanent. The USA international impressed there on loan last season, and up until now it appeared that he may stick around on our books, as he'd be the most likely left-back to succeed Leighton Baines as Luca Dean's understudy. But it now appears Marcel Brands has opted to cash in on Robinson, and he will be the 3rd left-back to leave Everton this window, following Luke Garbett and Brendan Galloway out the exit door. But no doubt this lad's got promise, and that's probably why I'd have liked him to have stuck around just to see what happened, but hopefully he will fulfil his potential as a permanent Wigan player, so good luck to him there. Finally, on the transfer front, a brief update, like I said, on Fabian Delph. The Daily Mail say that he is set to have a medical with us tomorrow. Other rumours say Everton are hoping to get that deal wrapped up as quickly as possible so that Delph can travel to Switzerland and play in our next friendly against Monaco on Friday, possibly. And on the topic of friendlies, I will come back to that friendly game we played today against Sion. And to be honest, I have no choice but to make it brief because there's very little to talk about. If you don't already know, Everton drew 0-0 in Switzerland, but it was a dull game. There's no other way of putting it. Gylfi Sigurdsson came close to scoring 2 great goals when he hit the post and bar, but otherwise the quality just wasn't there. The other talking points of the game include 2 other elements of low quality: Oumar Niasse skying an easy chance, and Kevin Morales has been inducted into the Dominic Calvert-Lewin school of unorthodox right-backs. Other than that, not a lot to report from Switzerland, and we'd certainly hope for better against Monaco on Friday, and hopefully Fabian Delph will be in that team. So let's wait and see. However, we weren't short on drama in the international football this afternoon, as Idrissa Gana Gueye, who has of course been linked with a big money move to Paris recently, he played tonight for Senegal in their AFCON semi-final against Tunisia, and he was almost the villain of the piece, as he had a penalty given against him for a handball that he could, be honest, have no complaints about. Luckily for him, the ref, in my opinion, wrongly overturned it after consulting the VAR. So Ghana's had his blushes spared. Tunisia certainly hard done by, but Idrissa Gueye goes on with his Senegal team to the AFCON final, which is next Friday night, where they will face either Nigeria or Algeria, who are actually playing right now. A quick word on that game: still no sign, it seems, of Henry Onyekuru in a Nigeria shirt. He's on the bench again tonight, having not had any minutes on the pitch so far this tournament. Perhaps that could change tonight. A good performance in the latter stages of the AFCON could do us the world of good in helping us maybe find a permanent buyer for Henry, with him being in the shop window. Even then, I think it's still unlikely that he'll get his elusive work permit now. So, like I say, I think it'd be better to cash in and get some cash in the permanent deal and get him off the books rather than loaning him out again. Nonetheless, it's good news for the Blues, given that this time next week there will be no internationals and players can focus on pre-season with Everton. So roll on next weekend. And if the last few Mondays are anything to go by, roll on tomorrow, because last Monday we were absolutely inundated with transfer news and rumours, and hopefully tomorrow will be the same. So be sure to tune in for that daily report tomorrow night. Until then, you know the drill. Comment, like, subscribe, and thank you again for watching on the Toffee Blues.